What's going on, people? It is almost fight day. We're talking Alexander Usyk versus Tyson Fury. We're almost there, people. Can you feel it? Undisputed king shall be crowned. Today we want to talk about some of the events of fight week, the press conference reactions, and some of the undercard predictions. Let's get into today's video. Oh, this fight week is getting more and more excited. As it draws closer, it's talking about the main event. Yeah, some interesting things has happened. We had the first day of fight week, and I need to just call it out from now. We had that idiot John Fury. Yes, I think he's an absolute disgrace, headbutting a member of Team Usyk. I know a lot of people have spoken about this, but what seems to be missing is, I think this is a worrying trend of people trying to, I don't know, do shocking things, put it all down to, oh, it's fight promotion, oh, it's mind games. The same thing happened with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. I think things went too far over the line with Ryan Garcia, and it was just put down to mind games. And it's a bit of a worrying trend because I feel like people are going to try and take things further and further and further until it goes too far. At what point does something happen outside the ring, the fight happens, and then that matter still isn't settled? You know, Tyson Fury shouldn't have John Fury at these fights. I think he's a liability and he's an absolute disgrace to boxing. He's a bully. Yeah, hate it, disgusting. Aside from that, it seems like the rest of the fight week has gone a lot better. We had the press conference. We had some interesting things happen. Tyson Fury looking very slim and slender. We had the probably workout as well. Also, not very talkative. Now, a lot of people have spoken about Fury looking a bit nervous. You know, Usyk wasn't very talkative either. I don't really buy into all that. I think Fury is focused. And this is someone who's not a Tyson Fury fan. But I think he's very focused and I think he's going to give us a good fight. I don't buy into the nervousness or the press conference or body language experts. The same thing has been said many times over the years. AJ versus Ngannou, AJ versus Wallen. Oh, he looks unconfident, and look how that turned out. So I'm going to give Tyson Fury the benefit of the doubt on that one as well, and feel like, you know, you can't really take much from that. I think he's not necessarily trying to play mind games, but I think he's just focused and ready. He's trying to show Usyk, I don't care about you. Or maybe it is a little bit of getting himself some self-confidence, like, you are nothing. I'm not even going to look in your eyes. And if he believes that and he takes that into the ring, it gives him a better chance. I don't change my prediction. I still think Usyk will win. I believe it's a true 50-50 though. So if Fury does win, don't come in the comments and be like, oh, see, I told you. I mean, you can if you want, I don't care. But I think it's going to be a good fight. I hope it's going to be a good fight, but I just back Usyk to win. Let's get into a couple of the undercard fights now. We're not going to talk about all of the undercard fights, just on the main card. First up, I want to talk about Ajit Caballero versus Frank Sanchez. Now, I truly really like Caballero. I like how he fights. I like how he moves. His last fight against Mahmudov, he was attacking the body in a way that we don't really see from a lot of heavyweights. Frank Sanchez, sometimes he looks good. He's got very fast hands, very, very small, very slippery heavyweight. Now, sometimes he looks rather pants, if I'm honest. He didn't look the greatest against a Jagbar. And was his last fight against was a Junior Farr. Didn't look great for a lot of those rounds either, until he did look great. So I'm going to back Caballero to win this one. Moses Atuma next versus Ilya Menzin. I'm going to say that, hope I don't say his name wrong. I'm going to back Moses Atuma, of course, to win this one. Now, there's a slight step up in this one. I believe this fight has he's got a good, decent knockout ratio and decent win ratio. But I think Moses, they've definitely matched him very well. Well, no, they matched him very carefully. And I think now they're trying to go for a slight step up. They're not going to risk a slip up on this one. I think he's a future heavyweight star, so let's see what happens there. But Moses Atuma to win. Say win by knockout. Yeah. Next up, David Nyika versus Michael Sietz. Now, David, like it, he's a very, very good fighter, very slippery customer. I've only seen a couple of his fights, but he's a very, very good fighter. He's got a bit of a tough fight here. His opponent is very, very tough. I've seen one of his fights or highlights of them. And I do feel like David is going to get the win on that one. Mark it up here, put on your betting slips. I'm not a betting man. Next up, Isaac Lowe versus Hazmullah Ahmadi. Now, I'm not really as familiar with these lots of fights. I haven't checked out his highlights. I'm not super interested in this fight, if I'm being totally honest. So I'm going to say who knows on that one. That's probably going to be when I have my toilet break and my snack break in that one. Moving on, Sergey Kovalev versus Robin, let's just say Robin Safar. Now, Sergey Kovalev, this is a return for Sergey Kovalev. He hasn't fought in a while. Obviously, he got the loss to Canelo, then I think he came back for one fight. He's 41 now, which is a bit concerning that he's having to come back, and I don't know what this is going to be a lead up towards. But they're going to match him carefully. I don't believe that they're going to put him in any danger in this fight. I think this is kind of another little comeback and kind of getting him a good show. But we're going to go for a Sergey Kovalev win. I'm not going to say knockout. It will depend on if Father Time is actually caught up with him and is going to, you know, rear his ugly head on that night. But I'm going to go for a Sergey Kovalev win. I don't want to say knockout. I want to say, let's say by decision. Next up, we've got Mark Chamberlain versus Joshua Wahab. Now, it's really good for Mark Chamberlain. Really, really happy to see him on these type of shows. Now, he is, or Turkey Al-Sheikh has said that he's one of his favorite fighters. And it's good to see someone who doesn't necessarily have the biggest profile or isn't the most outspoken type of character or trying to do shock factor stuff, get on these type of cards and just be a great boxer, which is what he is, and just see him actually succeeding. Again, I feel like Turkey is putting him in a good fight. And it's still going to be quite challenging, but something that's going to make him shine, I believe. So I'm going to go for Mark Chamberlain for the win. Let's go by knockout. I think a late stoppage on this one. Mark Chamberlain, I think he's going to try and put on a show for us. Now we have, almost at the main event, we got Jayo Paya versus Marius Bradis. Now, this is a rematch on this one. In their last fight, Bradis did break Opetaya's jaw in 2 places, like early on, but Opetaya, being a tough son of a gun he is, fought all the way until the last round to go on and win the fight and win his belt. Jayo Paya, don't make it no secret, Jayo Paya is one of my favorite fighters right now. He's got great boxing ability, great footwork, but also a killer instinct that just can't really be taught. And I back Jai every time. There's no one I look at in the cruiserweight division that I've seen, I don't know, beating him or even giving him too much trouble. I guess Bradis would be one, but now Bradis, I believe, is almost 40 as well. He's got a lot of inactivity. I think his last fight was with Jayo Paya, like about 2-3 years ago. That ring rust is going to play a part, and I also think Jai's starting to believe in himself and his power a lot more. I don't know if anyone keeps up with some of Jai's interviews, but he did say that he had an operation on his left arm, which is why he can, or his left hand, I think, or arm, hand, I can't remember, which is why he can properly use it now and put power behind it. When he had the Bradis fight before, he said he had an issue with it, so he couldn't actually put full power behind it. And we see the proof in the pudding with Opetaya's last 2 fights. So that operation seems to have given him the superpowers. So I feel like now I'm going to go for a late stoppage. I'm going to say mid to late stoppage by Jayo Paya. And that is my 100%. That's the one I'm 100% behind. Next up, Joe Cordina versus Anthony Kakache. Now, this is going to be a good fight as well. Now, Joe Cordina is obviously a very, very special fighter. Big fan of his. Now, what was his last fight? The one before when he fought, I think it was like Nakatani, can't remember. Devastating knockout puncher he was. Then he fought against Rakhimov. Didn't quite have the knockout ability in that fight, but Rakhimov's obviously a very tough and very, very good fighter. Cordina was very, very tricky in that fight. Switch hitting, and he had a real good change of plan. Like, he was very good at adapting to Rakhimov's style in that fight. So I do back him to win this one as well. I don't think it will be by stoppage, because Kakache is a good fighter as well. I wouldn't be surprised if a Kakache surprise, not necessarily win, but to hurt Cordina here and there in that fight, and maybe start to win quite a few rounds in there. So I'm going to go for a unanimous decision win from Joe Cordina. I do feel like he's got the championship experience, and I think he's coming into his own now. You know, he had an injury that set him back for a while, but I think this is his time to really make it happen. So that's the undercard predictions from me. I didn't want to go for a massive breakdown. Like I said, there's some fighters I'm not super familiar with, and also, being honest, not super interested in, and those are going to be my snack time breaks. What do you think of these people? What do you think of these undercard fighters? Who do you think is going to win, or going to be maybe the standout fight on the undercard? For me, I'm going to go for Jayo Paya and Marius Bradis. I think it's going to be the show stealer of the night. Has anyone changed their mind on Fury and Usyk as we draw a little bit closer? I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit more nervy. Every time I see more things, more media, I'm like, it's looking a bit, Fury's looking focused. But I back Usyk, man. I really hope he gets it done. You know, like if Fury does win, it's a very well done. If Fury comes in quite light, like his career lightest, as people say, which I don't think is going to happen, then I actually might back Usyk to stop him a little bit late. I might back him to stop him a little bit late. If he doesn't, if he comes in 250, 255, 60, then I don't think Usyk will stop him. But I think it's going to be something special. I do feel like Fury needs to jump on Usyk early. Maybe by the second round, start to be a bit more aggressive. First round, feel out a little bit. And I think we might see a little bit more of an aggressive Usyk as well. Not to go through the breakdowns and stuff, don't want to make it a super long video, but have a little look if you've got a little moment of some of Usyk's fights. Some of the stuff he does as a southpaw, he does traditional things that southpaws do, and he does some things that southpaws don't actually usually do, southpaw to orthodox. Look for him to not play too much games with the lead foot battle. Now, generally we're told the southpaw needs to keep their left leg, or their right leg, should I say, on the outside of orthodox left leg. Look for Usyk to, instead of doing that, step to the inside and keep his left leg, or his right leg, should I say, on the inside of Fury's left leg, and throwing jabs from that position and attacking the body from that position. From Fury, look out for his rear uppercut. Look out for that rear uppercut. It's going to be very, very interesting. Well, that's the video today, people. Let me know your thoughts below. Like, share, subscribe. See you soon. Peace.